Good morning, everyone. It is a chilly winter day, but the sun's out and that's bringing me a lot of warmth. It's been really cold lately, and actually it's just going to get colder. But with the sun, I think it really helps the Midwesterners because this is kind of the time of year that people really have a challenge with. It's like right after the holidays and before spring. And I've definitely been having a rough couple of weeks here, and honestly, there's just a layer of exhaustion emotionally and physically just between the move and other things that are coming up and just my own health and everything. So I've been really making it a point to rebalance my hormones ever since postpartum and pregnancy. And this is really common for women. This is something I've been studying so that I can help support women in many areas. I'll talk about that another time with pregnancy and postpartum and conceiving, but I'm really trying to rebalance my hormones because that really affects stress levels and moods and just like your energy level, everything. And in with that, my nervous system has really kind of tanked yet again. And I think it was back in September, I had some information kind of come to me that I knew was coming, and I'll explain that in a minute. And with that, it just really rattled my cage. And ever since then, I've just been having like a hard time processing stress. And this is something I've really been thinking about. When we as children experience trauma, and in this case, I don't even like using labels, but I'm going to complex trauma. I've had a lot in my childhood, and in with that, my nervous system never really had a chance to like develop naturally in a healthy way. I never had like a secure attachment to my parents, and I experienced a lot of childhood abuse. And because of that, I had been in a constant state of fight or flight and freeze. Freeze probably being the number one, just out of fear and things like that, being hurt, things like that. And in with that, since like 2019, I think a lot of people can relate to this when COVID happened and just everything changed. I think it might have been just a little bit before that, because it was when my mediumship started to kind of really reawaken. So like 2017, and then really 2019 is when I was working with a coach and helping, and then the world shut down. And anyways, I'd been really working on repairing my nervous system, and I did good for a while, and I did to a point. Like I really did support and rebuild my nervous system and support it. But again, with what had happened a few months ago, it's just kind of really taken a lot from me energetically and emotionally. So I'm working with herbs. I don't even know if I've talked about this on here, but I've been studying herbology for the past, I don't know, maybe year and a half, and it just blows my mind. I love working with the plants so gosh darn much, and just like their ability to support the mind, body, spirit, energy, heart, all the things is just, it's magnificent. And I really do feel it's deepened my connection with Mother Earth. But beyond that, it's like a whole world that I feel like we as a society has just like forgotten about. And I feel like if we don't continue to learn these traditions and this information, like it can be lost. And I feel like, I hope we're not headed in that direction. But anyways, I am working with the herbs to support my nervous system and to rebuild it and replenish it. So I've been working with lately a little bit of chamomile and nettle and ginger. I think I was working with that yesterday. I think I'm going to work a little bit with raspberry leaf today, and I'll explain all of those when I show you guys my little apothecary in my room, because I really nerd out on it. But I have been having so much fun just like playing with blends and herbs and teas and different ways of using the herbs to support me energetically and physically. So I'll take you guys. I am also heading in early before my clients to actually have another pipe ceremony. And while I don't feel it is appropriate for me to always discuss the pipe, what I do want to open up a little bit more about is just how the pipe has supported me and my journey, because it has single-handedly changed my life. And we have been gifted that opportunity from my father-in-law and my mentor to learn about the Chanupa and to learn about like how it traditionally is used and how you can use it for your own healing. And I'm so grateful for that, because I remember, I think it was the first day of class. So this was like 4 years ago. And he was talking about Sundance, and he was talking about the pipe and these traditions. And there was something within me where I was like, I need to be there and I need to know about this tradition. Like there's something that just, I knew my heart was going to connect with it, even maybe in a subconscious way, not fully understanding, you know, the process and the impact that it would have on my own healing journey. But I turn to the pipe when I need support, and it's going to like make me cry. I've really needed support lately. I really, really need support lately. It's been a really hard couple of months. And I can't tell you how many times I've turned to my pipe to help support me. Think of it of a way to like, traditionally it's a way to send your prayers to Creator for them to be received and heard. And without, there's no doubt in my mind, the level of sacredness and connection and beauty and support that I receive. It's a no-brainer to me. I'm 100% in and connected to my pipe, and I use it very, very often. And sometimes I turn to my pipe, and sometimes my pipe calls to me when prayers need to be shared, even if I don't know exactly what they are. I always answer. And sometimes a way that would come in, I sleep with my pipe next to me on my nightstand, and a way that would appear or feel I would just feel either in my mind's eye, I would see my pipe bag, or I would just feel this pull of like, I need to hold my pipe, or there's something that wants to come through. And I always listen. And what's really interesting is about a week before the fires in California started, no, it was probably 2 weeks before, I was having a pipe ceremony at our old apartment. And it was really interesting because I had felt the need to have a ceremony like every day, essentially, for a week. And that happens, this is probably the second or third time that has happened. And I think we had started moving. So I had, I think, one ceremony after that, and then I hadn't returned to it. And I thought in my mind, like, I need to have these ceremonies. Like my pipe had requested, like it had called to me to have these prayers shared and to use my pipe, not fully knowing why. And then flash forward, the fires had started. So I sort of came full circle, where I had then realized like that was calling to me to send those prayers. So I've been having a ceremony for about a week every day to support the land and the people and the animals and the plants and the soil and everything, Mother Earth. So today I'm going to send more prayers to California, but I'm also going to ask for some support just for myself, because walking this path, you have to kind of, I think my therapist had said that to me. She's like, Angelica, I'm pretty sure you chose a path where like you're never going to be able to avoid your stuff. Because that was one of my questions. And I'm like, that's a really good point. And I mean that with like lightheartedness, but also in a bit more of a serious tone, in order to really be the healer that I know myself is sort of growing and developing into. I always have to constantly do the work myself. And this is one of those moments. And that's okay. It's just been a tough pocket of time, and it happens. It's not going to last, and it will pass through. But these are one of the moments where I'm sort of surrendering into it, and I know I need help. I know I need support. So I'm turning to my pipe. You can see it there. And then I'm going to kind of get my day started. So I'll take you guys actually along for that and show you what that looks like. Also, this is our friend's apothecary. I don't know if you could see this sign, but it's called 63rd Street Apothecary. And she has beautiful, beautiful products. Oh, and they're just so lovely. The bath bombs, the candles. Oh, it's so good. So make sure to check her out. I just finished up with my pipe ceremony, and I am getting ready for my first client, which actually we're going to be talking about cacao, which is really, really exciting and fun. And you guys know I love cacao, and I'm sure I'll talk about that on here at some point. This is actually our back room. It's nothing fancy just yet. I actually think I'm going to work on reorganizing and making this a little bit more aesthetically pretty to the eyes. But this is where I keep all of my herbs. So we actually source our herbs from Rose Mountain Herb, which I love. They're organic. They take care of the herbs. They care for them. They harvest them, and they work with different people who harvest and grow the herbs around the country. We have always gotten incredible quality from them, so it's actually where we source a lot of it from. I'm also going to be trying to grow some of our own this spring and summer, so we'll see how that goes. But why I wanted to bring you guys in here, I am actually going to be working with raspberry leaf, and I think I'm going to add in there some nettle as well. I have been doing a lot of research on femininity and conceiving, pregnancy, postpartum, menopause, moon cycles. And I've mentioned this before, but I'm really sort of shifting my focus just in what I'm bringing to my clients and how I'm supporting them. And what I really love about working with the herbs is I'm learning so much about how they actually support women. And as a mom, we don't always have time to do some form of self-care, like get a massage or meditate or have a few minutes to ourselves. And honestly, it can be really tough. I think that was a really, really tough point in motherhood for me, is like realizing that your needs come last all the time. It's not a good or bad thing. It's not that they're not met. It's just they come last. And it really was a big adjustment for me. And with that, a form of self-care is working with the herbs, because you can create just a little quick environment or a sacred space, and you can make a nice warm cup of tea, and you're actually nourishing, and it's a form of self-care, but you don't always have the time. So it's like a quick way of nourishing yourself. But what's really cool with raspberry leaf and nettle, really, they're great for when you're trying to have a baby, when you're conceiving, when you're pregnant, and after you deliver, and postpartum. When we give birth to a child, we go through like the biggest depletion known to nature and humanity just within our bodies, and it's our blood supply, our minerals, our vitamins, and it can really lead to so many other imbalances, which is hormone imbalance, mood swings, depression, all of those things. And that's kind of like why I've really shifted my focus of what I'm really absorbing and learning about, and what I'm sharing, and what I'm going to continue to share moving forward, because there's not a lot of that support out there for women. A lot of people don't know when you have anger or rage postpartum, it could be part of a mineral deficiency. So it's like, how do we educate women, but also how do we create resources to help support them with information? And also, like, what kind of tea or what kind of herb to drink or work with, or tincture or something that can help replenish the body as a mom, because postpartum is not a few weeks. I've been reading about it. It's up to 7 years, which is just wild to think about. So today, I've talked about this a little bit. I have been on a journey of rebalancing my hormones. And today I'm going to be working with raspberry leaf and nettle, like I said. And I am going to take it as a form of self-care as I get ready for my clients. And I'm going to use that as a way to replenish minerals, vitamins, and just help support the body in general, to be able to think about energy levels, think about stress, things like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to make a nice warm cup of tea, and then I'm going to get ready for my client. Good morning, everyone. We get to go to work this morning together because it is Saturday. I don't know if you can see Rimi.
What's the guest?
And We have a pretty steady day today. Rimi has his regular classes that he's teaching. He's doing some fun things in there, which I think actually he'll take you along with, right, hon?
Yeah.
Probably show. He has a celebration and a really beautiful ceremony this morning, and then some practice sessions later on in class this afternoon. I have a nice calm day. I decided to actually block myself out for a little bit so I can just take it easy and do a little bit of admin work, and I think I just have one client. So it's going to be a really nice, calm day. We also finally finished up moving out of our apartment. I finished it up the other day. Rimi and I both did. We had been going there like at nighttime after the baby went to sleep. We finally got it done, thank God, but we still have a little bit to do in our garage. Our official move out date is tomorrow. So it's been, like a week or week and a half that we've been moving? Probably a week and a half that we've been moving. It just takes so long. It was just it took a long time.
And that was after having movers.
Yeah.
So I can't remember that.
As Angelica was saying, it also new haircut, new home, new me, you know what I'm saying? Even with like hiring movers, it fucking sucked because the movers that I used when Angelica and I first moved in together were actually really awesome, and so I decided to hire them again. And I don't know if we just got like the D team or what, but they were so slow, they talked so much, they took so many breaks, and like there's about 4 of them, and 3 of them used the bathroom, because obviously I was like, yeah man, use the bathroom, you're gonna be moving a bunch of heavy shit. One of them was in there for like 30 minutes, and then the other one was also in there for a really long time, and as one was in there, they all kind of just like slowed down, so it was kind of a huge pain in the butt, and I was very upset about it. But that's why we left a lot of the garage, because I'm like, they're taking so long that we decided, you know what, it's time to just start getting rid of stuff. Like, we can't keep buying things that aren't necessary, especially since we want to start doing like a lot of traveling with our van that we're gonna get. That's still in the works too. But so yeah, that we've been going at night, and that's been very tiring. I don't know if you guys have a Whoop strap or not, or know what Whoop is, but it's for athletes if you work out. It's just, and also to see like how you're sleeping. Anytime I would start to like move stuff or go handle things at night, like my strain would jump up to like a 19. The highest a strain can go is like 21, I believe. So I was getting real close there, and then I would come home and it would be late and I wouldn't sleep well, and I would wake up and have to do it all over again. So we're tired.
Yeah. And as Rimi was saying, we have decided to go the van route. We ended up pulling cards on it.
Yeah, animal medicine cards with my dad.
Yeah, so we sat down and did a reading with my father-in-law, his dad, and I think it actually made us feel a lot better about it, because I know it was just kind of like an idea and we were gathering information, and then once we pulled cards on it, it seems like it could be a really great option to support, one, the lifestyle that I think we have been desiring, including traveling, which is a part of that, connecting with the land in different ways, in different areas, and also having Violet come along with us and experience like her childhood in that realm, but also to have her like to have access to us like 24/7. Like, that's really important to us, for her to just build that really secure attachment and connection with us. And yeah, it's just something we had decided before we had her that we really felt was important. So we have decided to move forward in that. We're still researching a couple of different companies. We thought we had landed on one, but not so much, right?
Well, they make amazing stuff. Like, their builds are superb at a really affordable price, but when we pulled cards, it said that there's something there that they're not, what is the word?
Like we would almost have to be like fixing something all the time, or like it would need something. Like, the van would constantly need something, because we actually pulled Lizard for it. And so we were like, and then when we pulled for other companies and other areas, it actually felt like it would be a lot easier to not only get the van, but then also in it we would feel a lot more happy, a lot more connected. So we're kind of going that route. Of course, we keep our options open, but to us, the cards are pretty significant in they don't lie, and they give the animals give us great support, so we respect them.
But we have to wait.
But we have to wait, so that's the other thing. So we had found out that either purchasing the van now or in the fall time would be two good options, but in the fall time would be like a great time for us, essentially, to purchase it. So we've decided to just gather the information, get everything set, get everything ready, and then continue building our business, which has been really fun, which I'll probably show you a little bit of today because we're working on some really fun stuff. And from there, then when it's summertime, we'll probably look at then purchasing and getting something in the fall. So, and then we'll start traveling, which is really fun. So again, we have some fun things today. We'll take you guys along, and I hope you guys enjoy.
So we just finished a despacho ceremony. I am sweating. You can see I'm a little glistening today. It's a very fun ceremony. It's very nice. Despacho ceremony is a gratitude to earth ceremony, is how that would translate. I'm going to take a seat real quick. So we finished up. I did some cleaning. I believe Angelica came in and recorded for us because it's not that it's like a strenuous ceremony, but it's a lot of moving parts. So I was trying to get as much ready before the students started coming in, and they tend to run a little bit late, but today they came in early. And so I was like, okay, let's get started. And so I had to text Angelica and I was like, I forgot the camera. Can you come in and just like record part of it? Because it is something that I wanted to show. And usually I have two classes. I have a class from 10 to 12, and then I have another class from 1 to 3. They are 2-hour classes, but this is the first weekend where like I didn't have someone making up a class. So usually people will miss a class and then they have to make it up, and they'll usually put it in right before the 1 o'clock class or right after the 10 o'clock class, because that's usually the ones that have been missing. And this is the first time where I haven't had to do a makeup class. And then there's times when I'll get an actual client stuck at like the end of the day. And so I got to get this shaved. Anyway, so my weekends have just been like come in early, start, and then I do not finish until like 3 or 4 o'clock with no break. And it is exhausting. I'm usually just super tired and spent. But today I get a break, which is really nice. I'm going to kind of just hang out. I'm not that hungry because we shared snacks in the despacho ceremony. If you guys ever join us, I think I'm going to start hosting them a little bit more. It's a way of giving gratitude back to Mother Earth and life, and then also being able to ask for things, prayers, wishes, whatever you like. And so it was a nice way to close out level 2. At the end of level 1, which is North American traditions, we finish level 1 with a pipe ceremony with the sacred chanupa. And the end of level 2, which is South America, we end with a despacho ceremony. And so you see kind of how each level is based off of certain things from the different continents. And by level 3 is when we start to mix and merge everything together. Not that we are mixing the traditions, but we are teaching different tools and modalities of healing, and then we just start to piece it together so they work harmoniously together. Not that it's trying to be like one thing, because it's not. And depending on what modality you use, you kind of tell which native tradition it comes from. So it's been a lot of fun. I love these students. They're doing great. I love teaching. I'm starting to work towards creating an online course, because a lot of students who miss class is because they have things that they need to do. We completely understand, we all have lives, things come up, especially during winter. We start to miss more. People get sick, pipes burst, car accidents happen, people get snowed in. Some people just leave for winter. They're like, listen, we're going to go to like Florida, we're going to go somewhere warm for the winter. And it happens. That's totally fine. So I want to create an online course which allows people to take my classes at their own pace. And that's just it. Like, we have the ongoing classes. It's 2 hours. We meet 3 times a month, and we have 1 weekend off. And then for the first 2 levels, we have intensive classes for those who cannot take that much time off. So they'll come in and we're here for the whole day. We're here from 9 to 5, just teaching. They get a lunch break. And, we try to cater to a lot of people, but sometimes that doesn't work. And sometimes people can't do the intensive days because something's coming up that weekend, or people can't do the long weekends because, they work weekends. So the online course is going to be tailored and catered to you so you can take your time with it. I did the foundations of the power of animal medicine. The foundations course is done in very nice bite-sized pieces. So you get to learn about the animal medicine, and then you get to practice with it. Then you get to learn, and then you get to practice. And it's set up over 4 or 5 weeks. So you learn about 10 animals per module. And the feedback has been absolutely amazing. Everyone that has taken it has loved it. They're like, it's funny because they're like, at first I was like, I want to learn more, but then there's homework. And the homework isn't for us to see that you're studying. The homework is to help you practice more with animal medicine, so you get a better grasp of the information. And so I want to start doing that for the shamanic apprenticeship that I teach. I want to make it available to those who do not have the time to come like every weekend. That way, like, you have access to the course, you have access to the information, you also have access to me. You can ask questions at any time. I will respond, and then, you learn at your own pace, because I tell everyone in level 1, everyone learns differently. And I try to teach as many different ways as possible so the information sticks. Because I've had a lot of teachers growing up, and a majority of them sucked. A majority of them were not good teachers. But the ones that I remember are the ones that made learning fun. So I like to make learning fun, but I also understand that people learn differently. So I will explain what we do, and then I'll write it down, and then I'll do the example in person. And that way everyone, people who learn better by hearing will understand it. People who learn better by reading it will get the board, or people who learn better by mimicking what I do, so they'll see what I do and then copy it. That way I'm giving out as much helpful information. And I always tell people, if there's something that you don't understand, please ask. I want you guys to understand these concepts. I want these to hit home, because that's a part of healing, is making it a part of you, making it something that you feel. Because if you're just like, oh, I know this helps here, then there's no real connection to that technique. These techniques have to be personable. They have to come from your heart. That's how healing works. So yeah, this is my lunch break right now. I just wanted to come in and record this. So the despacho ceremony, it's not like an active thing. We are all sitting, we are sharing food, we are sharing items that go into the despacho. And again, I'm just receiving and blowing on it, but it takes so much energy to connect to that. You can come on in. And so I just start sweating immediately, because there's just a lot of energy. There's a lot of people putting their prayers and their wishes into the elements and then passing it to me, and I just start dripping. And then here's my wife. Oh wait, I turned the thingy on. Let me exit She's also on her lunch break, so she went to eat. But again, I didn't have to eat because we had a lot of snacks. I had some mimosas with me, so I'm a little feeling good. Yeah. But yeah, my next class I will try to record. We had a little snafu with scheduling. So the meditation room that you guys saw in the last video is filled up with people doing a foot detox. So I'm in this small classroom.
I mean, it's a big classroom, but it's smaller than the meditation room.
It's smaller because in the fact that we had to set up massage tables for people to work on each other, and we don't have that much space here. So I have to figure out what we're going to do and go with the flow. But I'll check back in with you guys in a bit.
Sunday, and I'm getting ready for class. Actually, this is what we do on Sundays, and for the past few months I've actually been taking a little bit of time off just because I really have been pretty tired. So I have been in class in the shamanic apprenticeship for about 4 years now, and I haven't taken any breaks. Like, even when I was pregnant, even when like before we had Violet, I actually had miscarried. So even when I miscarried, when I had Violet, when I was pregnant, postpartum, all of it, I actually have never like missed, which is just crazy to think about. We meet like 3 times. It's every Sunday, 3 or 4 times a month. So anyways, I did just recently take a little bit of time off, so I'm kind of heading back. And before I'm doing that, I'm making something nourishing. So I actually felt like tea was calling me, but as I got back here, there's a little bit of cacao, and I remember this morning I had wanted cacao. So I'm debating if I want to have a cup of cacao for class or if I want to make some nettle and raspberry leaf tea. So that's kind of where I'm at. In class, so we are actually, I think, wrapping up level 10. And there's 13 levels total, so I don't have, like, our class doesn't have that much left to go, which is just kind of crazy to think about because I feel like I've been here consistently, like I said, for 4 years. It's like a college degree. So that's kind of where we're at. So I think I'm going to show you guys a little bit in class so you guys can kind of get a feel. We have a really big class. I don't know if everyone's going to be there today, but I might show you guys some behind the scenes. Good morning, everyone. It is 5:30 in the morning, and it's like -5 degrees out, so it's pretty chilly. I'm still even warming up in my car. I just got to the gym. Normally I would not have come with it being this cold out, but I actually woke up feeling okay. Like I was up before my alarm, so that's a lot easier to get up, especially when it's cold, than like snoozing my alarm 3 or 4 times and trying to get up and get here. So I typically come here at this time. Class starts at 6, and it actually, so we go to F45, and I know Rimi's talked about it on here, but honestly, this place has been pretty impactful for postpartum. They can be pretty intense workouts. So just kind of forewarning, like, I think I started here maybe 7 or 8 months postpartum, and because I hadn't started like earlier, I probably wouldn't have come until like around that time, just because they can be intense and there's still like pelvic floor repair that you have to do, and different like workouts and things to help continue strengthening with the core. I wish I would have done a little bit more exercising while I was pregnant. I did a lot of walking, and I loved it. That was phenomenal. But I wish I would have done a little bit more strength training. So if we were to have another baby, I'm just preparing and replenishing my body first, but if I were to do that again, I am preparing to support that pregnancy the best that I can. Not saying it's happening, but you know, I also have goals I'm working on. I talked to you guys about the half marathon, and in the past when I've done marathons and half marathons, I did a lot of cardio. I was actually boxing at the time, and I loved it, but I needed more strength training. So F45 actually has different days that are lifting and different days that are cardio. Today happens to be a cardio day, but I have strength the rest of the week that I'm doing here. But it's what I really lacked when I trained last time for the marathon and the half marathon. I do have weaker glutes, so that does affect my knees and the function of my knees and my hip flexors and all of that. So I have been really focusing in on core strength and glutes and quads and all of the things to help support. And like I said, this has helped tremendously postpartum, not just physically, but mentally too. There's a lot of repetitive thoughts, intrusive thoughts. There's a lot of overthinking that I do feel a lot of women experience postpartum. I happen to be one of them. And this has really helped me like move the energy and not get so stuck. So honestly, this place is a godsend. In addition to that, if it's not already awesome, Dr. Sam, who is a coach here, is actually my chiropractor. So I'm taking you guys along on my appointment tomorrow so you guys will see it. And she actually specializes in pregnancy, conceiving, postpartum, babies, all that good stuff. So she has been greatly helping support my pelvic floor, my diaphragm, my back, my neck. My spine is like crooked from pregnancy, so she's really helping realign. And honestly, she's extremely knowledgeable. She's really, really good at what she does. And she's just really kind. So I'll take you guys along for that. Yesterday, we ended up having a great class. I didn't have any time to actually record. Right when we got to class, we jumped right in to working one-on-one, and it's just not really appropriate to show. So it ended up being a really good class, and then we headed home and we relaxed the rest of the day. So today's going to be a pretty chill day. I'll take you guys along for that too. It's actually our day off, so I'll be working on admin stuff. But right now I'm going to go get to it and get this workout in. So I'll see you guys soon. Good afternoon, everyone. We're finally together. Man.
We're always together. What do you mean?
I know. Well, the last few times I've been recording, I've been on my own. So we are headed to the grocery store today. We got the baby in the back. It is like 5 degrees. Okay, it's 10 degrees out today. When I went to the gym this morning, it was like -7, so it warmed up a little bit. But really, today is actually our day off. It's a Monday. We try to keep Monday, Tuesdays off, but as you know, when you are a small business owner, you do have days off, but there's always something that could be done, so we're trying to make sure we're taking time off, but also looking at the goals that we're trying to accomplish and making sure that we're taking little steps each day. So we did a little bit of admin work today, and we are going to be, we're working on a couple of new projects we're not going to talk about, right, hon?
Yeah.
But we're really, really excited
G14
about it.
or G4 classified?
G14 classified. We are going to be offering them probably in the springtime and essentially from the road. So we'll be working on a little bit of that today, getting some more, some of the information prepared and ready and all the back end stuff done. We have been looking at vans. So Rimi's been doing a lot of the researching. So what have you found lately, hon?
I found that there are a ton of companies that build out vans to go camping. A lot of them were started within like the 2019 to 2020 time frame. And there is a huge influx of what people can do. But they all basically do the same thing. It's just a matter of like finding the quality that suits us. There was a few vans that looked very, very awesome, but they were basically like luxury vans, and they were around like the $200,000+ range. And I was like, that's too much. Like, we don't need all of those things. Or granted, there are people that live out of their vans, so it makes sense to like have that set up, but it's not what we need, and it's not what we want either. I mean, we want it to be comfortable for us, but we're not trying to drive like a loft on wheels, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean,
this is too much.
I think the plan for us too is obviously to be able to travel like across the country and, you know, out west and everything like that. But we would be staying in like Airbnbs and places out once we get to the destination. So it would be, yeah, that's the thing. It's like not 100%, but what I'm trying to say is we're not aiming to live out of it 100% of the time, like some people. So we can kind of bend a little bit on some of the requirements or some of the build outs where we're like, well, you know, we can kind of compromise on things because we do have a home base, but you know, that would be a little more short term for us.
If we're doing like East Coast, West Coast, like we get to sleep anywhere we want. But once we get to a location, then we'll probably get an Airbnb. But the van is mainly to get to national forests or national parks.
Yeah.
That's something that I've had a huge calling to do, and that's one of the things we're going to do. So a lot of camping, but not having to sleep, you know, out in tents. Have a little bit more comfort, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about this briefly on the channel, but Rimi's dream was to kind of go camping around and visit all the national parks, and my dream was to travel out west, like all out west, and to eventually land in Arizona, because I know we will have another home in Arizona at some point. So essentially that was like our intention before we had met each other. So then when we got together and we had Violet, and it kind of hit us when we were looking for houses, and we're like, wait a second, we've been wanting to travel independently and then obviously now together. So that's what we're doing now. That's our 2025.
Yeah.
So we're really excited. So we are about to head to the grocery store, and we are going to make sure we get snacks because we do not have
no one tells you about, like, when you first move and you move all of your food, like, it's like main things so you can make a lot of meals, but we're a snack family for sure, and we have zero snacks. I think we bought like some tortilla chips and salsa, and like that has been it. And I love tortilla chips, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I need variety. We don't have no like little sweets. I'm a sweets kind of person, but like we don't have anything. So we're like, okay, let's go in for the big haul today and get stuff to meal prep, but also, you know, snacks.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that, and we'll take you guys along. So we hope you enjoy.
Do we want to talk about spoilers?
Yeah, I guess we can. Go ahead, Rimi.
Well, you gotta pan it to me.
So we were just driving, and we just saw a little squirrel that did not make it.
In the middle of the road.
In the middle of the road. So Rimi's going to talk about squirrel medicine. Go ahead, hon.
So one of the things that I talk about on the podcast and on my TikTok and what I do for work is working with sacred animals. And animal medicine is everywhere. So we tend to keep our eyes open for any animals that cross our paths or are very, very close to us. And this squirrel was on the left hand, well, in the middle of the road, but to our left. And squirrel represents saving for something that's coming up. Because squirrels tend to save up their nuts, but they don't save up their nuts for like years on end. They just save up for the future, for winter, so they're ready. And so squirrel is kind of telling us to, one, get our stuff in order. It doesn't have to mean money, but it could mean like plans or what are the other things that we talk about?
Yeah, like saving money for taxes or getting an umbrella because it might rain later. Like it's like getting things ready,
being
just
prepared.
in case, being prepared.
Yeah.
So, but
it's on the left side also.
It's on the left side, which would be our feminine side. So what do you think that would be, honey?
That has to do with our nurturing. It has to do with healing, and it has to do with our creativity.
Which is interesting because we're creating something right now.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure we'll debrief a little bit more about that, but we wanted to share that a little bit.
Alright, we're here at Woodman's, and there's not that many people here, thank God, which is one of the reasons why we love grocery shopping on Monday and Tuesdays, because everyone's back at work. We are looking at seeds. Angelica wants to start a garden, so We're gonna see what they got, and they have things 40% off.
Yeah. Just seeing what. Mom, hold that.
So we have no idea what we want to get for snacks.
I don't know what people snack on. I don't know what we snack on.
And then we also don't know what we want to do for dinner.
I got that in my car.
Oh, do you?
That's the Pocket 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It stays for me every day.
Yeah, I love it. We met another tech guy, so that's cool.
Excuse me.
I knew he was talking about trying to ignore him. Because we are well, I'm an introvert. She's very social, but she's scared of people. So
It's
yeah,
called trauma.
we're just trying to figure out what the hell we want to eat. So just perusing aisles. We got a bunch of the veggies already, which is easy to get. Damn, what do we get? Well, we wrote down some stuff. We need to get stuff for the baby, and then some accessory food. So we'll do that right now. All right, we found some snacks. I went with legendary protein Pop-Tart, 20 grams of protein each one, and these are actually pretty decent. I like them. I've tried a lot of protein snacks before, and these are the best. And let's see what Angelica got.
I got some chocolate. I got chocolate Pop-Tarts.
Show us what you got.
Chocolate Pop-Tarts. We're trying to figure out something we can like bake or make or have on hand for snacks. So far, this is as far as we've gotten.
Yeah, we just don't. We're tired. Yeah, we were like, what are we even gonna cook tonight?
We're really tired.
We're just trying to figure it all out as we go.
Yeah. We might make some like risotto. That's been like really easy and really nourishing. So we might do like some type of risotto tonight. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It is Tuesday. We officially, the lease ended for our apartment on the 19th. It is now the 21st. Yeah. I am tired. Our room, I haven't been sleeping well, so things have been kind of rough, but everything else is going really, really well. Things are just taking time. Angelica and I have been working really hard, as she said previously, on some new offerings that are coming, which is a lot of fun. I'm super excited. These are definitely going to be springtime offerings for at least what I'm going to be doing, and she's going to be doing some of them with me, but she also has a lot of her own stuff, a lot of the mediumship and other things that she has store. It's her doing, and then I'm also working on the advanced animal medicine courses and the shamanic apprenticeship online course. But the other one that we're excited to drop, I'm getting everything ready, so as soon as it's launched, you guys can sign up for it. It's gonna be super fun. But right now I am in this extra room at my parents' house. I'm gonna give you guys a little detour. You can tell we have some statues, masks. Hold on, I have the auto focus on me. We got some flowers, we got some Egyptian, so hold on. So yeah, that's my TV on the floor, just because we wanted to keep it inside because it's like super, super cold right now. It's just a super chill little room, a little extension. Let's go the other way. And then over here we have a a custom statue of an angel. A little heater because it's freezing. Another handmade statue of an angel. The story behind these is my grandmother had one custom made for each of her kids from this artist in South America, and he has passed away. We have my mother's in the shop at Healing Arts Metaphysical Center, and we have a lot of people asking about how much, and we're like, sorry, it's not for sale, it's there to take care of the shop. And yeah, so this is going to be the end of what we have going on. Angelica's putting the baby to sleep right now. I'm just getting some work done. I minimize everything because I don't want to spoil some stuff, but here's the desk. Liquid Death Cherry Obituary is my favorite. I love seltzer water. It's my jams. I also love water, but I got the baby monitor for when Angelica's done. Phone. My little DJI, which is what I'm recording on, which, if you didn't notice, someone at the grocery store called out to me because he's like, I got one of those too, which is awesome. We got some more books because Angelica loves to read, and baby stuff. So for right now, either here or the dining room table is where Angelica and I are doing most of our work. We are probably going to record a podcast once she comes down and upload that. So if you are not following us on our podcast episodes, we are on Spotify. Our podcast is called The Path to Healing Arts, and it is where Angelica and I do cover a lot of things that have to do with traditions, native traditions, mediumship, spirituality, healing, nurturing, like the whole, everything is on there. And a lot of our stories and experiences. We also talk about like manifestations that we've done and how you can too. We have a lot of that stuff going on over there. So go ahead. You can follow us on Spotify or go to our website, which you can look up. I don't know how to do it yet. Angelica is hosting it. So let me actually open it back up. It is healingartsacademy.mykajabi.com. And so that's where we are putting, that's us, like that's our business. We're still building it out, but there is stuff there that you can go and check out and reach out to us if you need to. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish up all this, and we will see you in the next episode. All right. Bye.